Good evening, bureaucrats. This is LK here, welcoming you once again to the bureaucrats. In the previous class, we were in 600 BC. We may also call it 6th century BC, removing those two zeros. And we have already covered why this age is called the age of Mahajanpadas. With the rise of imperialistic activities in the later phase of Vedic age, small janas or janpads, they started attacking with an aim to expand their territory and kingdom, and this resulted into the creation of bigger Mahajanpadas. Small janas or tribal community, they mingled, they combined to form bigger Mahajanpadas. And we already know this fact that according to Buddhist literature and Jain literature, there were 16 Mahajanpadas. Out of those 16 Mahajanpadas, Magad was the most powerful and the largest of Mahajanpadas. So this age is also called the age of second urbanization, and the reason being the creation of these Mahajanpadas is the only reason why this age is also called the age of second urbanization. But while going through this fact, we have to remember this fact that in India, the age of first urbanization was the IVC age, Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization, which dates 2300 to 1750 BC, is the first urban civilization, and then comes Aryan civilization, that is Vedic age, and that age was not urban in nature, it was rural civilization. And then once again when we move to 600 BC, this age, because of the rise of imperialism, this age and the creation of Mahajanpadas, this age is also called the age of second urbanization. Now, this is with the rise of imperialism on one hand, different smaller new sects, they evolved during this age, and it is very obvious that these sects arouse against Vedic cultures and traditions. So, as Magad remained the center of imperialistic activities, Magad also became the center of the rise of new religious sects here in this age. So different smaller sects were created, few people rose against challenging Vedic cultures and traditions, and they formed new sects, religious sects following different kind of philosophies opposing those Vedic culture and tradition. So this may come into your prelims, you have to keep this thing in mind. People following these philosophy, so different sects were formed, and they were called different because they follow different kind of philosophies. So materialistic philosophy, there was materialistic philosophy, atrocious philosophy, fatalistic philosophy, deterministic philosophy and indeterministic philosophy. So these sects following materialistic philosophy, they form the part of materialistic sect, and the sect following atrocious philosophy, they form this sect. Okay, now you have to keep in mind the propounders of this philosophy or sects. Kambalin, the propounder of materialistic philosophy or sect is Kambalin. The propounder of atrocious philosophy or sect is Puran Kashyap. The propounder of fatalistic philosophy or sect is Makhliputra Ghoshal. The propounder of deterministic philosophy or sect is Pakud Kachayan, and the founder of indeterministic philosophy or sect is Sanjay. So अब क्या होता है कि यहाँ पर आपको हो सकता है कि इनकी हिंदी भी आपको पता होनी चाहिए। भौतिकवादी संप्रदाय, मटेरियलिस्टिक फिलॉसफी मीन्स हिंदी भी पता होनी चाहिए। कई बार वो सीधे इंग्लिश उसमें लिख देंगे भौतिकवादी संप्रदाय, भौतिकवादी संप्रदाय, दिस इज कॉल्ड भौतिकवादी। एट्रोशियस इज अक्रियावादी संप्रदाय, अक्रियावादी संप्रदाय, एंड देन आजीवक संप्रदाय और भाग्यवादी संप्रदाय। आजीवक और भाग्यवादी संप्रदाय, यू हैव टू, ये आप हो सकता है कि इंग्लिश अल्फ़ाबेट्स में ये सब ऐसे ही लिख दे, तो आपको ये याद होना चाहिए। देन नियतिवादी संप्रदाय, डिटरमिनिस्टिक नियतिवादी संप्रदाय, नियतिवादी संप्रदाय, and then indeterministic philosophy is अनिश्चयवादी संप्रदाय। अनिश्चयवादी संप्रदाय, अनिश्चयवादी संप्रदाय, ये आपको याद होना चाहिए, ऐसे एंड देयर प्रोपाउंडर्स. सो setters may ask a question from this topic differently also, that people following this materialistic philosophy, what was their belief, what was the belief of atrocious sect, what was the belief of fatalistic sect, ये भी पूछ सकता है. तो let me give you a glimpse. So people following materialistic philosophy, what they believed, we have to keep this in mind. There is no resultant of good and bad deeds. One must try to derive maximum pleasure from this world. तो वो पूछ सकता है कि ये फिलॉसफी किस सेक्ट की है. तो दिस इज ऑफ मटेरियलिस्टिक फिलॉसफी. सो व्हाट वाज देयर बिलीफ, व्हाट वाज देयर फिलॉसफी? देयर इज नो रिजल्टेंट ऑफ गुड डीड्स एंड बैड डीड्स. So one must try to extract as much of pleasure from this world. ठीक है, ये आपको याद रखना है. इनकी फिलॉसफी थी atrocious philosophy, there is अक्रियावादी फिलॉसफी. So the people in this sect, they believe, they rejected the theory of karma, the philosophy of karma, as well as the philosophy of rebirth, the theory of rebirth. इनके अनुसार ये बिल्कुल नहीं मानते थे कि आपने तो सुना होगा कि जैसा जैसा बोओगे वैसा काटोगे, एज यू सो एज यू रीप, है ना. द वे यू सो द वे यू रीप, मतलब जैसा बोओगे वैसा काटोगे. हम अच्छा करेंगे तो अच्छा फल मिलेगा, हम बुरा करेंगे तो बुरा फल मिलेगा. लेकिन ये बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं मानते थे. वो बोलते थे इट्स ओनली अ कोइंसिडेंस, ये ज़रूरी नहीं कि अब अच्छा काम करे तो आपको रिजल्ट भी अच्छा मिले. तो दे टोटली rejected the philosophy or the theory of karma and the theory of rebirth. आपको ये भी याद रखना है. ये इनकी. Then coming to fatalistic philosophy or sect, आजीवक या भाग्यवादी संप्रदाय, their belief, a soul has to undergo many rebirths. Opposite, इसके opposite, the people, the sect following fatalistic philosophy, they believe that a soul has to undergo many rebirths. That, in other words, they are supporting the theory of rebirth. Then coming to deterministic philosophy, the propounder being Pakutkachayan, नियतिवादी संप्रदाय, what they believe, everything is pre-decided. पहले से लिखा हुआ, जो लिखा हुआ है वो होकर रहेगा. Everything is pre-decided. ये इनका बिलीफ था. Then indeterministic, opposite, indeterministic philosophy and sect, the propounder being Sanjay, अनिश्चयवादी. They neither rejected the existence of heaven or hell, heaven and hell, nor they totally are with this belief that there is nothing, या कुछ भी नहीं है. ये बोलते थे कि या तो स्वर्ग और नरक ये नहीं है, या तो कुछ भी नहीं है. ये आपको ध्यान रखना है. बस आपसे क्वेश्चन, इसे बहुत अंदर डीप नहीं जाना है आपको. लीव इट फॉर मेंस ओनली. तो ये हो गए. एंड देन सो कमिंग बैक, दिस एज ऑफ महाजनपदास, दैट इज 600 BC, इज also known as the age of religious reforms or the age of religious movement. There were many reasons for evolution of this religious movement or religious reform. The first one being complexity of Vedic religion. So you already know Vedic age was divided into two periods, the first one being Rig Vedic age and the second one later Vedic age. Here in this Rig Vedic age, Vedic cultures and rituals, traditions, they were in simplest and purest form. Everybody was allowed to sit in yajna rituals and all. Even women, they were also allowed to sit in yajna rituals and all. But coming to later Vedic age, in this age, Vedic rituals, cultures, traditions, they were took over by certain group of peoples. People in later Vedic age, that is people of higher one. They took control over Vedic rituals and cultures, and they denied the people who used to sit here in Rig Vedic age in yajna and all, they were denied of this. And one more reason being that Varna system also evolved. We will look into this fact in this one. Complexity of Varna or caste system. Here in Rig Vedic age, the society was divided on the basis of karma. On the basis of karma, so as to regulate the social activity. But coming to later Vedic age, this Varna system, which was divided on the basis of karma, it got converted into caste system. People doing higher jobs, that is doing the job of purohits or doing the job of protecting one tribe from other tribe, they form the part of higher Varna, and other people doing inferior jobs like leather works or those who were involved in dirt cleaning, they form the part of lower Varna, that is Shudra. So this also resulted into the exploitation of certain peoples, and they rose. The time came in 600 BC, they rose against those practices that were involved in caste system, that is the exploitation done to them. This is the second reason. Third reason, complexity and tough language used in Vedic text, that is the use of Sanskrit in Vedic literature. You already know all the Vedic literatures, they are written in Sanskrit. So when Varna system evolved, only the people belonging to higher Varna, they were allowed to study Sanskrit or allowed to learn Sanskrit. So the people of higher Varna, they only can understand Vedic literature in those times. So they took advantage of this and they started to exploit Shudras or the lower Varna system. This is the third reason. The fourth reason, expansion of new agricultural based economy. You already know discovery of iron took place in later Vedic age. Discovery of iron. So this fifth one, rise in importance and status of Vaishyas. These two reasons, they are interrelated. Let's see how. With the rise, with the discovery of iron, it led to the increase in agricultural land, and the increase of agricultural land led to increase in agricultural production. And when there was increase in agricultural production, it had a better scope of persons belonging to this Varna, Vaishyas. Vaishyas were those people involved in trade and commerce. So the rise in agricultural production led to the increase in trade and commerce of agricultural crops. So these Vaishyas, their status improved. वो ट्रेड और कॉमर्स करते थे तो उनके पास पैसे ज़्यादा आ गए, तो ये भी हो गया, इनका सोसाइटी में स्टेटस और इम्पोर्टेंस बढ़ गया. सो दिस वाज द रीज़न, बट दिस वाज नॉट ओनली द रीज़न, बिकॉज this was not the only reason. There was one more reason. Look, Vedic culture and tradition, they oppose lending loans in terms of interest, and people involving, that is Vaishyas involving in trade and commerce, their main work was to lend people loans in terms of interest, and according to Vedic literature, lending loans in terms of interest was considered as sin. So this became one of the reasons why Vaishyas, they began to oppose Vedic culture and tradition. Now the sixth one, favorable political conditions. Now you already know, here in this age, out of 16 Mahajanpadas, Magad was the most powerful and the largest of Mahajanpadas, and the ruler at that time were Bimbisar and Ajatashatru. So these two powerful rulers, they were not under the influence of Brahmans at that time. So when they were not under the influence of Brahmans, they patronized these different sects and religions which evolved during this period. So these are the reasons. It may come into your prelims also, and it may form a very important part for mains also. Okay? Now we'll move I have to rub this. So let's come back. Now we are up to two very, very broad and famous religions that evolved in 600 BC. Although many religions they evolved during this period, but there were only two main religions, Buddhist religion and Jain religion, which propagated a lot, and all of them, because of their tough culture, tough rituals, they got exhausted in due course of time. You can still find Buddhist religion in practice and Jain literature, although very few in number. They are considered to be in minorities. People following this religion, Buddhist religion and Jain religion, they are considered as minorities, religious minorities. Okay. Now, the founder of Buddhist religion or the propounder of Buddhist religion, you all know Gautam Buddha. Buddha means enlightenment or enlightened. Siddhartha was his childhood name. So Gautam Buddha was born in 563 BC, 563 BC in Lumbini 1, in Lumbini 1. It is in Kapil Vastu, and this place is in Nepal. So Gautam Buddha was born in 563 BC in Lumbini 1, that is a small place which is located in Kapil Vastu, and Kapil Vastu is in Nepal. Lumbini 1 is now known as Lumnadehi. Lumnadehi in Nepal. Lumnadehi is now known as Lumnadehi in Nepal. So he was born in 563 BC in a very royal family. His father was Shuddhodhan. He was the head of Sakya. He was the head of Sakya Republic. He was the head of Sakya Republic. Mahamaya, his mother was, Gautam Buddha's mother was Mahamaya. And let's now move forward. So, what happened, and you must remember this birth sign. I will tell you later. Birth sign of Gautam Buddha is lotus and bull also. But if you have to choose only one option out of these two, then you have to consider lotus. और अगर दोनों सेलेक्ट करना हो, A and B ऐसा पूछे, A and B both, तो ये दोनों है. ठीक है, ये आपको ख्याल रखना है. Okay. Then what happened? He was, as you have already gone through, he was born in a royal family, Sakya family. His father was Shuddhodhan. He was the head of Sakya Republic, and his mother was Mahamaya. And astrologers came to his father, the king Shuddhodhan, and told him that your son Siddhartha, Prince Siddhartha, is going to become a great monk or a sannyasi. His father got distressed. I am a king and my son is supposed to be the king of this kingdom after me. So what he did to save Siddhartha from becoming a monk, he provided all worldly pleasures in the palace only, and he restricted Prince Siddhartha to go outside this world so that he may experience the pains and sorrows of this world, and in this way he can restrict Prince Siddhartha to become a monk. So it is said that Prince Siddhartha used to live in different palaces, seasonal palaces. That is, in winter some other palace, he used to live in some other palace. In summer there was a different palace for him to live in. So like this, he was enjoying all kinds of worldly pleasure in the palace only. So at the age of 16, he was married to Mahamaya. So his father did a lot so that to engage him in worldly pleasure, और उसके मन से monk बनने का, सन्यासी बनने का ख्याल बिल्कुल भी ना है. Okay, now one day Siddhartha, Prince Siddhartha, he forced his father that to allow him to go outside his palace and see the world. So his father was, वो बिल्कुल लाचार हो गए. एंड सिद्धार्थ वन अलॉन्ग विथ हिज चैरियटर, प्रिंस सिद्धार्थ वन डे along with his charioteer known as Channa or Chan in Hindi, you may also call it Chan. So he went outside his palace along with his charioteer Channa. और जब यहाँ इसकी बात करें तो मैं ये भी बता दूँ, his favorite, Prince Siddharth had a favorite white horse and it was called Kanthak. ये सब आपको क्वेश्चन पूछ दिए जाते हैं ना, और आप जान रहे हैं कि पीएससी आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा फैक्चुअल जा रहा है, ठीक है, तो ये भी आप जान गए. एंड बोथ ऑफ देम दे हैड अ सन नेम्ड राहुल, ये आपको याद रहा. हिज वाइफ यशोधरा, एट द एज ऑफ 16 ही वाज मैरिड टू यशोधरा एंड बोथ दे हैड अ सन नेम्ड राहुल. तो आपको ये याद रखना है. एंड मैटरनल आंट इट इज प्रजापति, आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ हिज मदर इट वाज हिज मौसी प्रजापति गौतम हु ब्रॉट अप प्रिंस सिद्धार्थ इन हिज चाइल्डहुड. ओके, ये आपको याद रखना है. सो वन डे Prince Siddharth went outside his palace along with his charioteer Channa and he, आपको यहाँ से भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछेगा. They may ask you, Prince Siddharth met across 4 events or persons in his life that contributed a lot for him becoming a monk. At first, ये order भी आपको याद रखना है. At first he saw an old man walking bending with the help of a stick. So Prince Siddharth never went outside his palace, so he was totally unaware of what is going on outside his palace. So he asked his charioteer Channa, why this man is walking like this, bending like this. So his charioteer Channa replied that man is old, and this is the crude reality, harsh reality that every human being who is born has to undergo this age, and he will become so weak that he will have to walk like this with the help of stick. Then और थोड़ा आगे गए. Then Prince Siddharth saw a diseased man with trouble and sickness, with trouble and illness. So he once again asked Channa, who is that person? Why that person is in huge trouble? So Channa once again replied, this every human being born will suffer some or other kind of disease in his journey of life and he will become so weak. ये भी this event also created huge impact on the innocent mind of Siddharth. Then थोड़ा और आगे गए. Then Prince Siddharth saw a dead body, a procession of dead body going on the path, and a group of people following. They were crying. The dear ones and the relative ones, they were crying because of in the procession of this dead body. Once again, Prince Siddharth asked Channa, why people are crying, why people are in deep sorrow and pain. They said that the body lying is actually might be one of their relative and dear one. So he is dead, and so they are crying in his memory. So this event also had a great impact on the mind of Siddharth. Then at last on his way he saw a monk or a sannyasi, but surprisingly and interestingly, Prince Siddharth found that this monk, Prince Siddharth, after seeing a monk or sannyasi once again, Prince Siddharth asked his charioteer Channa, who is this? Channa replied, he is a monk, he is a sannyasi. He is out of worldly pleasure, out of family bonding and all. To Siddharth, Prince Siddharth thought, this man is out of anywhere. He is not having a penny, a shelter to live, or family members to look after him. But still, this monk or sannyasi is moving in a very cheerful and joyful mind. This event, it actually created a huge impact on Siddharth's mind, and which in future will provoke him to become a monk or sannyasi. Now, okay, इन्होंने देखा, ये वापस आ गए अपने महल. महल में तो जानते हैं आप क्या क्या होता है, वो नर्तक नर्तकियाँ डांस करती हैं. So after that event of dancing in the night hours, Prince Siddharth went to that spot where that dancers used to perform, and he saw the female dancers and male dancers in a very awkward position, drunk and all. And ultimately, that night he decided, I will leave my home and I will go outside this worldly pleasure in search of reality. I will go to the forest for meditation and I will find the ultimate truth and reality. All these things, this female dancers, dead body, diseased person, these are the harsh realities, and I have to search more realities of life. Living in palace with worldly pleasure is not a reality. So he decided at the age of 29. So Buddha left home at the age of 29, which all the numericals which were, or the days which I will put into the book, that is important for you to remember. So Buddha left home at the age of 29 at that night hours only, and he went into the forest, that is in exile. And according to Buddhist culture and tradition, all the events related to Buddha, they are given a specific name. So the event when Buddha left home at the age of 29 is named as Mahabhinishkraman. You have to remember this, Mahabhinishkraman. The event, how Mahabhinishkraman is related to Buddha's life, it is called that event when Buddha left home at the age of 29. So on that night, after seeing those dancers in awkward position, Buddha decided to leave home, and he left home. And when he left home, his age was 29, and that event is named as Mahabhinishkraman. So he started walking. He decided to go into the forest. While walking, he met 5 monks. 5 monks. They were also traveling into the forest. So all those 5 monks, they started walking along with friends. Actually, they became friends of Prince Siddhartha. And later on, Buddha, in search of reality, he started meditation and tapasya and all. So at one day, after severe meditation and tapasya, Buddha got so weak that one could even count the rib bones. How many rib bones Buddha? One could even see the rib bones coming out of the body. So such weak Buddha became after severe meditation. So one day Sujata, a lady, a woman, served him with kheer, and Buddha had it. Those 5 monks, those 5 friend monks of Prince Siddhartha, they watched him, that a lady served him with kheer and Buddha had it. So for a monk or sannyasi, it's like a sin that women, the touch of woman and that bowl of kheer was touched by a woman and Buddha had it. So it is against the principle of sannyasis and monks. So they left him, they cursed Buddha of this activity, and they left him and they went away. Then this Buddha was carrying on, he was walking and doing meditation and all. Then near Vaishali, he met a Sankhya philosopher, famous Sankhya philosopher, Alar Kalam. And in due course of time, near Rajgrihi, he met Acharya Rudra. So these 2 men, they were initial gurus of Lord Buddha. आपसे कब क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है, तो ये दोनों उनके इनिशियल गुरुज थे, लेकिन अगर दोनों ऑप्शन में दे दे और आपको कोई एक चूज करना हो तो अलार कलाम. Then Buddha, after 6 years of hard meditation and tapasya, then ultimately, finally, at the age of 35, you have to remember this, at the age of 35, Buddha attained Gyan or knowledge. Buddha को ज्ञान की प्राप्ति हो गई. And when at the age of 35, when Buddha attained knowledge, this event is termed as Nirvana. This event is termed as Nirvana, and it is also called Sambodhi. It is also called Sambodhi. आपको ये याद रखना है, the event of Nirvana or Sambodhi. You must not mix this fact that in some philosophy, in some darshans, Nirvana means salvation, moksha, but in Buddhist in terms of Lord Buddha, you are not supposed to confuse yourself with this term. Nirvana here means at the age of 30 attaining knowledge, or Sambodhi means attaining knowledge. So अब जितने भी facts यहाँ लिखे हुए हैं they are very important. He attained knowledge at the age of 35. That is, this event is called as Nirvana. He attained Nirvana or Sambodhi on the banks of the river Niranjana, which is also called as Punpun. Punpun. Niranjana, on the day, on which day he attained knowledge? On the day of Vaishakh Purnima. ये भी आपको याद रखना है. Under a peepal tree, he was, Lord Buddha sat under a peepal tree for continuous 7 days. In meditation without having food, water, or even opening his eyes. So while meditating, Mar is none other than Kamdev. So even Mar, that is Kamdev, along with his Pisat Sena, he tried a lot to dissolve the samadhi of Gautam Buddha under the peepal tree, so that to restrict him to attain knowledge, but it never had a little of impact, even a little of impact on Gautam Buddha. And on final day, on the 8th day of continuous samadhi, Buddha finally, on the day of Vaishakh Purnima, attained knowledge. That is, he attained Nirvana on the banks of river Niranjana, is also called as river Punpun, on the day of Vaishakh Purnima, under a peepal tree. And that peepal tree, because Buddha attained knowledge under the peepal tree, that tree is popularly called as Bodhi tree. Bodhi. That tree is popularly called as Bodhi tree. अब यहीं पर मैं एक fact बता देता हूँ. This peepal tree, this Bodhi tree in Gaya, and where he sat in Gaya, Bihar. Gaya is in Bihar. तो बुद्धा को knowledge कहाँ मिला? बिहार. So this Bodhi tree is the one, in history you will find a ruler of Bengal, Shashank. A ruler of Bengal, Shashank. A ruler of Bengal ruler. He shattered this Bodhi tree or cut down this Bodhi tree. तो आपसे फैक्ट पूछ सकता है कि वो पीपल ट्री, वो बोधि ट्री जिसके नीचे बुद्ध ने ज्ञान की प्राप्ति की थी, उसे किसने कटवा दिया था? बंगाल रूलर शशांक. तो ये हो गया आपका. देन आगे बढ़ते हैं तो देखते हैं. देन Buddha attained knowledge. Then after attaining knowledge, he opened his eyes and he wanted to share his knowledge. He wanted to deliver his sermon to someone. So he decided he will deliver sermon to his Guru Alar Kalam. But as Buddha has already attained knowledge by his foresight, he saw that Alar Kalam, my Guru Alar Kalam, is already dead. So now he decided to share this knowledge or to deliver his sermon to those 5 friend monks. So with his foresight again, he saw where they are. So with his foresight, he found that they are in Sarnath. I have to write something. So Buddha, you already know, Buddha at the age of 35, Buddha attained knowledge. Then Buddha decided to deliver his first sermon, and with his foresight, he saw 5 monks. He decided to, after the death of his Guru Alar Kalam, he decided to give his sermon to his old friends, those 5 monks who left him alone in between. Then Buddha, with his foresight, he found that they are in Rishi Pattan or Mrigdau. The present Sarnath was known as Rishi Pattan or Mrigdau. You have to remember this. Mrigdau. He went there, he met with those 5 monks, and he delivered his first sermon. Upadesh, pehla Upadesh apna diya. He delivered his first sermon, where आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, in Rishi Pattan or Mrigdau or Sarnath, and that also in which language? Pali language. So Pali language was the language of the common mass. So this is the difference between Vedic age and this age. So Buddha decided to deliver his sermons in Pali language as the language of common man, so that people may understand his philosophy, his teachings very easily, and they can enrich their life with those knowledge. So this event when Buddha delivered his first sermon in according to Buddhist tradition is known as Dharma Chakra Pravartan. You have to remember this. Buddha delivering his first sermon, that event is known as Dharma Chakra Pravartan. So where did Buddha deliver his first sermon? That is in Rishipatan or Mrigadao. At present it is known as Sarnath. And in which language he delivered his first sermon? Pali language. Here only I would like to tell you these two important facts, that in his lifetime before his death, Buddha delivered maximum of his sermons in Shravasti, capital of Kaushal, in Shravasti, and before his death he delivered his last sermon in Kushinagar or Kushinara. He delivered his last sermon, and to whom? Subhadra. That is not important. B fact. This is B fact. And last sermon उन्होंने किसको deliver किया था? A man called Subhadra. ठीक है, ये आपको रखना. Then you must remember few small facts also here. Tapassu and Bhallik. So these two were the initial two followers and they were Shudras. तो आप इससे पता चलते हैं कि as Vedic age was full of karmakants and full of isolation, full of exploitation, here Buddha decided to make his initial followers belonging to Shudra community, Tapassu and Bhallik. Then Anand and Upali were two favorite disciples of Buddha, Lord Buddha. But here वो आगे देखेंगे, Anand, one of his disciple, favorite disciple, Anand. So what is important here, upon the request of his disciple Shishya Anand, Buddha allowed women to enter into Buddhist Sangha. Buddhist Sangha. Then what is Sangha? A Sangha is a group of people, followers of Buddha, they form sanghs, and after 10 years of rigorous meditation and all, with certain formalities, those people, they will convert into Buddhist monk or bhikshu. So on the request of his favorite disciple or Shishya Anand, Buddha allowed women to enter into Buddhist sanghas, and in this process, the woman who became first woman to enter into Buddhist Sangha became Gautami Prajapati. The very same woman, Mausi, a maternal aunt of Buddha who brought up in his childhood, Gautami Prajapati, he entered, the first woman to enter into Buddhist Sangha, and after 10 years, she attained the status of Bhikshuni, woman, first woman monk. ठीक है, ये आपको याद रखना है. Then at the age of 80, important, at the age of 80 and year also 483 BC, आप जानते हैं BC उल्टा चलता है तो 80 साल. at the age of 84 63 से आप 85 63 से आप माइनस कीजिए तो आप पहुंचेंगे यहीं 483 BC. So Buddha at the age of 80, 483 BC he died, and the event when Buddha died is known as Mahaparinirvan. Is known as Mahaparinirvan. Hold on, there is someone. Gone? Sorry, there was somebody on the door. So the event when Buddha, the event of Buddha when Buddha died is known as Mahaparinirvan. When he attained jnana or knowledge at the age of 35, that event is known as Nirvana. And when Buddha died, that event is known as Mahaparinirvana. ठीक है, आपको याद रखना है ये. And where he died? So one of his followers, Chunda, that is not so important. Chunda, one of his follower, Chunda, in his house, Buddha went, and he had in Kushinagar, Kushinara, and Buddha had a dish called Sukra Madhav. ये भी important है. Sukra Madhav, a dish had Sukra Madhav, and because of that Sukra Madhav, Buddha suffered a severe diarrhea. And that became the cause of his death at the age of 80. So one more fact you have to remember, Vaishakh Purnima, as this is the date when Buddha born and Buddha died. Coincidentally, when Buddha was born and Buddha died, that day was Vaishakh Purnima, and also when he attained knowledge, that was also Vaishakh Purnima only. So because Buddha died, the Vaishakh Purnima was the day on which Buddha was born and Buddha died. So Vaishakh Purnima is celebrated as Buddha Purnima. So this is about a bit of introduction about Buddha's introduction about Prince Siddhartha, and he ultimately, okay, one more fact, sorry, I missed it here. When Buddha is also known as Prince Siddhartha, before attaining knowledge he was not known as Buddha. It was the event when Buddha attained knowledge, he came to be known as Buddha or Tathagat or Sakya Muni. When Buddha came to be known by this name, when he attained knowledge, that is when he attained nirvana. ये आपको याद रखना है. So this is all about. Now in the next class we will study various, that is very important, Buddhist philosophy, about Buddhist councils, and little bit of other facts which are very important for CGPSC prelims looking at the present trend. So this is all for today.